Okay, all right. Hello. I'm doing laundry again. Um, as promised, I said if you watched the Christmas haul video, I said next read would be Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut, and lo and behold, I stuck true to my word. Finished it yesterday. I've read Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut, and this was in the same realm as that. Satirical, ironic, very witty, a little bit of science fiction as well, elements to it. But I mean, overall, stunning. Kurt Vonnegut was an American author, born and raised in Indiana. Went to fight the Germans World War II. Got captured by them. Survived the bombing of Dresden. That's where Slaughterhouse-Five came to be about. But Cat's Cradle is not about the war. It is actually more about humanity in general and just how the things we do don't really make sense, but we try to make sense of them anyways. We try to give them purpose. So it follows the reporter called Jonah, or John, and he's trying to make a book called The Day the World Ended, about Felix Honecker, who was in this novel one of the creators of the atom bomb. He is doing less of a technical perspective and more of a human perspective of what happened leading up to that day and on that day. And so he interviews his three children, Angela, Frank, and little Newt, and to get their impressions and stuff like that. And he finds out about this religion called Buchanan, I believe. Buchananism. That's how I read it as. I didn't look it up, but and it's basically like nothing matters, but like I tell you sweet little lies, and you're gonna believe them because it makes the world a better place in the end, and that's sort of what I guess Vonnegut really gets at. What this novel does so well is like if you're really paying attention to it, which I don't think is that hard. Like you don't have to use a bunch of brain power to tell how Vonnegut is writing this novel, but like he'll take jabs at humanity and at different caricatures of people that he puts in as characters in his work, and like these kind of archetypes that they represent, and the folly of man that they represent as well. Sorry, I'm a little sick at the moment. I don't know if you can hear it. I can definitely hear it. But it's I believe this happened in Slaughterhouse-Five too, where like there was this build up, like he's going through all these different memories and being captured by aliens, and then it hits the reader. There's like a chapter in Slaughterhouse-Five that just hits the reader point blank, and it just lays everything bare. And that happened in Cat's Cradle too, chapter 114. And chapters are like every 1 to 3 pages. So but yeah, after something happens devastatingly in the novel, Vonnegut just lays it out for the reader and be like, dude, this is exactly what's wrong with like this mindset that we have, specifically Americans, for this novel. And it's like, but I'm sure it can be, related to many people around the globe. But that's one of the things that I really liked about Vonnegut's writing, is that like it draws you in with like these witty little snippets, and then just delivers like a real gut punch towards the end. And he's always so creative in his configurations for science fiction. Just like Slaughterhouse-Five, I was endlessly enthralled about the main character being kidnapped and like going through all of his memories in seemingly random order. Same thing with Cat's Cradle. Like you're just following this reporter who's apparently trying to find out more about the father of the atom bomb, and yet like he interjects with like the future reporters' thoughts and stuff like that. It's like, before I was a Baconist, I thought this, but now that I am a Baconist, I think this, and like it leads you wondering and wondering and wondering, and it's not a long novel. Like I finished it in 2 days, um, and to be able to read it and appreciate it for how Vonnegut saw us way back when, I believe this came out like sometime during the 60s, um, is a real, it's real special. It's real special. We'll say that. I love, and I love his writing style as well. I guess I'll give you guys a piece of it. I'll give you guys just a little quote first, from page 164, and then maybe something a bit longer. Newt's painting was small and black and warty. It consisted of scratches made in a black gummy impasto. The scratches formed a sort of spider's web, and I wondered if they might not be the sticky nets of human futility hung up on a moonless night to dry. And like that's just interspersed in there talking about little Newt's painting. And he's able to give not only like a vivid description of the painting, but all of the characters are able to reflect on that painting separately as if they are their own characters. And I think that's one thing Vonnegut has done really well, and it's one of the main things that you can tell a writer is a good writer by if they have characters in their novels that are truly themselves, that do not reflect the author's thoughts or writing styles or the main character's thoughts or writing styles, but they are their own unique character in this universe that the author has created. And Vonnegut does a very, very good job at doing that. Every character is unique, feels lifelike, feels like somebody I could walk down the street and see, and they wouldn't just be a carbon copy of Vonnegut or of the protagonist. Okay, and then this is from page 181, talking about Angela playing the clarinet, which was her only hobby during the time when she cared for her father, Felix Honecker. I looked up from my reading. The first number on the record was done. The phonograph needle was now scratching its slow way across the void to the second. The second number, I learned from the jacket, was Dragon Blues. Meade Lux Lewis played 4 bars alone, and then Angela Honecker joined in. Her eyes were closed. I was flabbergasted. She was great. She improvised around the music of the Pullman Porter's Son, went from liquid lyricism to rasping lechery to the shrill skittishness of a frightened child to a heroine nightmare. Her glissandi spoke of heaven and hell and all that lay between. Such music from such a woman could only be a case of schizophrenia or demonic possession. My hair stood on end, as though Angela were rolling on the floor, foaming at the mouth and babbling fluent Babylonian. When the music was done, I shrieked at Julian Castle, who was transfixed too. My God, life! Who can understand even one little minute of it? Don't try, he said. Just pretend you understand. That's very good advice. I went limp. So, and just beautiful. I don't want to. It's on the back. This a reviewer calls Vonnegut's like America's best black humorist. We laugh in self-defense. That is from the Atlantic Monthly, and I believe it's true, because if you're just going about the world not really caring about other people or about your own position in life, and then you read this, then I hope it opens it up a little bit. I hope it opens up that experience for you a little bit and sees perhaps some of the own selfish critiques that you've been harboring, or some of the hypocritism that you have been handing out to people while you have not been subjecting yourself to those same standards. So yeah, definitely, I'm really glad I read this one. I love Kurt Vonnegut. I've got Galapagos on my bookshelf, right? Oh, I see it right there. And yeah, I mean, it is just, I don't think you can go wrong with any of Kurt Vonnegut's novels, to be honest, especially not Slaughterhouse-Five or Cat's Cradle. for that matter, because this one especially just takes like such a wild turn. But everything makes sense to it. Like the way that humans act just make sense in the novel. So I thank you, Kurt Vonnegut, for writing this, for inspiring me a little bit as well, and for teaching me a little bit more about humanity. So other than that, I don't know if I'll have another video out before I start school next week. Maybe not next week, but the week after. But I hope I do. And other than that, yeah, I will. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.